They thought I was just the quiet girl refilling glasses, the kind of person you don't remember 5 seconds after walking past. And honestly, that was the point. But that night, the night everyone in the room forgot how to breathe, I stopped being invisible. Not because I raised my voice, not because I caused a scene, but because I said the one thing no one expected me to say, and I said it to the wrong man. Or maybe the right one. It depends how you look at it. I was working the late shift at a high-end restaurant in Lower Manhattan, the kind of place where the lighting is warm and the smiles are fake, where people talk softly because they're used to being listened to. My name on the schedule was Lena Brooks. That wasn't my real name, but it had been mine long enough to feel real. I wore my hair, plain clothes, a little loose posture, slightly apologetic. When you grow up being underestimated, you learn how to lean into it. You learn how to disappear without actually leaving the room. That night felt off before anything even happened. The kitchen was too quiet. The manager kept wiping the same clean counter over and over. Then, someone whispered that a private party was coming in big, money, old money. When they cleared the upper level completely, I knew this wasn't about celebrities or politicians. This was about power, the kind that doesn't show up on Forbes lists. When the doors opened, the room changed temperature. Security first, heavy steps, scanning eyes. Then a younger man in a tailored suit, confident, sharp, dangerous in a quiet way. But no one reacted to him. They reacted to the man behind him. Gray hair, cane slow, walk face, carved by time and violence. His name wasn't spoken out loud, but everyone knew it. Arthur Bellini. If you grew up in certain neighborhoods, that name didn't need an introduction. I kept my head down as they passed. That was my rule. Don't look, don't engage, don't exist. But Bellini stopped in front of me, told me I was shaking, asked me to look at him. I did what I'd practiced for years. Soft eyes, nervous smile, apology in my voice. He laughed, called me a mouse, told me to bring wine and not spill it. The table chuckled, and just like that, I was dismissed. I thought that would be the end of it. It should have been. But when I served the table, he started testing me, asking where I was from, making jokes at my expense, switching languages to see if I'd react. Then he said something in a dialect most people had never heard, thick, cruel, personal. It wasn't just rude, it was specific. It was aimed at a version of me I'd buried a long time ago. I felt it before I thought it. That heat in your chest when someone crosses a line they don't even know exists. I should have walked away. I should have stayed quiet. But instead, I answered him. In his dialect. Perfectly. Calm. Correcting him, not insulting him. The room locked up. You could hear cutlery hit plates. Bellini stared at me like I'd reached into his past and pulled something out that wasn't supposed to exist anymore. I realized what I'd done the second his expression changed. I turned and walked fast, then faster. By the time I hit the alley, I was running. The younger man followed. His name was Marcus Bellini, the son. He asked who I was. I told him the truth, or at least enough of it. If his father found out who I really was, people would die, including me. Then I disappeared into the city. I didn't stop until my lungs burned. I knew I couldn't go home. That life was over. The only place left was a memory I hoped was still alive. An old dock warehouse in Red Hook. A man named Theo. He'd helped my family once a lifetime ago. When he saw me, his face went pale. He didn't ask questions. He already knew. When I asked for what my father left behind, he hesitated. Because once I took it, there was no pretending anymore. That's when everything exploded. Literally. The skylight shattered. Men dropped in tactical, silent, efficient. This wasn't street crime. This was professional. They shot Theo before I could scream. I grabbed the case and ran. Bullets followed me to the pier, and standing between me and the water was Marcus Bellini. For a second, I thought he'd set me up. Then I saw the red dots on his chest, too. Whoever sent these men wanted us both gone. I threw a grenade I barely remembered grabbing, dragged him with me, and we jumped into the river. Cold, dark, filthy, alive. Under that pier, shaking and coughing, we figured it out together. This wasn't his father. This was someone inside the family. Someone old. someone who remembered my family, someone who wanted the throne. Raphael, the advisor, the quiet one, the man who never raised his voice. We hid together, argued, trusted each other just enough not to die. At Marcus's hidden loft surrounded by paintings he never let anyone see, we found the tracker. They were already coming. This time they brought Arthur Bellini too. Bound, disoriented, used as leverage. Raphael wanted everything. The power, the past erased, and me dead. I lied. I bluffed. I told him the case held proof that would destroy him. He stepped closer. Greed always does that. And that's when Arthur Bellini shot him. Right there. The old man still had teeth. The mercenaries left. No leader, no paycheck. Silence settled like dust. After that, Arthur looked at me differently. Not as a threat, not as a servant, as a debt. He ended the feud with words that mattered. Declared my family gone. Declared me free. I chose to believe him. Months later, the restaurant reopened. New management, new faces. I wasn't invisible anymore. I didn't need to be. When Arthur tested me one last time, I answered him softly in his language just enough to remind him I remembered everything. He laughed. And in that laugh, the war ended. So here's what I want to know. If you were in my place, would you have stayed quiet and survived or spoken up and risked everything? Was it justice or just another kind of power? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read them. And trust me, stories like this don't end when the lights go out.